Guys, you won't believe this amazing story of a guy who changed cinema forever. Hey everyone, check out the comedy master, Charles Chaplin. Have you ever imagined someone making the whole world laugh without saying a single word? Charles was born in London on April 16, 1889, in a humble neighborhood called Walworth. Did you know his parents were music hall performers? Music hall was a popular type of show back then, with music, dancing, and quick jokes. As a child, Chaplin's life was full of hardships. His dad left the family when he was very young, and his mom, who sang and danced for a living, eventually suffered from mental health issues. Can you imagine performing while carrying so much uncertainty? At 5 years old, Charles was already debuting on a sweaty circus stage in London. Wow, he and his brother had to learn fast because their mom couldn't support them all. Did you know they traveled from neighborhood to neighborhood earning coins and scraps of food? When their mom's condition worsened, Charles and his brother Sidney ended up in a workhouse, kind of a poverty factory. It was a total shock to his life, but also forged that bittersweet humor we love in his films. That's where he learned to make us laugh and cry at the same time. As a teenager, Chaplin joined a vaudeville troupe called the Carno Company and sailed to the United States. Have you ever thought about crossing the ocean to chase your dreams? It was there that doors to silent cinema began to open for him. In 1913, Chaplin signed with Keystone Studios and made his first film, Making a Living. Did you know he walked into the studio with zero film experience and learned everything on the fly? That's where he perfected the pratfalls that had audiences rolling in the aisles. Soon after, he introduced the iconic Tramp, his little guy with a thin mustache, a cane, and oversized shoes. Can you imagine a character so simple yet so lovable? Seriously, audiences fell head over heels for him, and Chaplin became an instant star. Before long, Chaplin was one of silent cinema's biggest names, writing, directing, and producing his own films. It's crazy how he mastered every role, right? Did you know he'd retake scenes 1,000 times until the humor was just right? In 1919, Chaplin joined forces with Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks, and D.W. Griffith to create United Artists. Wow, these four giants wanted creative control instead of being owned by studios. It was a game-changing move that reshaped the film business. In 1921, Chaplin released The Kid, his first feature-length film mixing comedy and drama. Have you ever laughed and cried at the same time with hardly any dialogue? That film inspired generations and proved silent pictures could hit you right in the heart. With The Kid's success, Chaplin became a millionaire and won total creative freedom. Incredible, right? He even had his own studio and reinvested every penny to push boundaries. Did you know he was such a perfectionist that he even micromanaged the musical score? In 1936 came Modern Times, a satire on factory work and industrialization. Have you seen that scene where he's trapped in gigantic gears? It's hilarious, but also shows how the Industrial Revolution left people exhausted and anxious. In 1940, Chaplin released The Great Dictator, his first big talking picture, spoofing a dictator. Did you know he was against Nazism and used comedy to expose fascism? That was one of the earliest cinematic punches at Nazism, using laughter as a weapon. When talking films became the norm, many thought Chaplin would fade away. But he held out and didn't make another talking movie until The Great Dictator. Can you imagine sticking to your style when everyone's shouting, "Change now"? That took guts and authenticity. His personal life was a roller coaster too. Multiple marriages, children, and rumors of political espionage. Believe it or not, the US government even accused him of being a communist. Wow, Chaplin was banned from returning to America for a while. In 1952, while traveling, he learned he could never set foot in the US again. That was a real blow, but Chaplin settled in Switzerland and kept making amazing films. Have you ever had to start over in a new country after becoming famous worldwide? Years later, in 1972, Chaplin received an honorary Oscar for his 50 years in show business and was greeted with tears and thunderous applause. It was the world's way of saying sorry and celebrating his genius. Did you know he insisted on thanking everyone with a speech about love, peace, and art? Chaplin died on December 25, 1977, but left an eternal legacy of creativity and humanity. Have you ever seen someone imitate his skating walk? That light step and simple choreography influenced comedians for decades. And there you have it. Did you enjoy this trip through history? If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss anything, and comment below which character you want to see next. See you in the next video.